together, heels are coming out, toes are coming out to meet them. Then we're going to take a little rock backwards and forwards. Think about that weight distribution as you bring yourself to a standstill where it's even between your heel and your toe. And then we're just going to take it in a circle. Now, as you circle, you can close your eyes if you want to, and just explore the corners of your balance. Think about that weight staying even between your heel and toe, so don't lose all the pressure in your heel as you come forward, and don't lose all the pressure in your toe as you move backwards. Then taking it in the other direction. And then bring yourself to a standstill and keeping that weight even. Keeping soft knees, remember, don't push those kneecaps backwards, and then coming up to your pelvis, just isolating the movement through that pelvis, tipping the water out of the back and out of the front, a bit like it's a bucket. And then bring that to a standstill, where that tailbone is pointing down at the floor, restacking those vertebrae, growing towards the ceiling. Thinking about that pelvic floor next, so we're going to get in that lift on floor 1 and ride it up to floor 10. Holding it there, feeling that internal squeeze. We're then going to slowly, with control, lower it back down until we get to that floor 2 or 3, holding it there for me. Next, thinking about that TVA, so putting on that big belt, drawing it up to the 10th hole, holding it there, and then slowly, with control, letting it off. And again, up to that 10th hole, so feel your waist getting smaller, belly button moving towards your spine, holding it there. And then this time, with control, slowly letting it back off until we get to that notch 2 or 3, and that's our 20 to 30% going to hold for the rest of the session. Thinking about breathing it, so keeping hold of that core. Remember, we want to breathe thoracically. We're going to interlace our fingers over our ribcage, take a nice wide and full breath in. Feel those fingers part, and then exhale. Feel them close back together, so inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale, and final one, inhale and exhale. Excellent. Taking 3 backward shoulder rolls and 3 forward shoulder rolls, 3 backwards elbow rolls, and 3 forward elbow rolls. Then we're going to bring our arms out to the sides, and we're going to start with a small circle. So we're just starting with a circle about the size of a Jaffa cake, just winding those arms forward. And then we're going to make it a little bit bigger. So now it's about the size of a mug. Now we're going to make it a bit bigger. It's about the size of a cereal bowl. Now it's a bit bigger. It's about the size of a dinner plate. Now it's about the size of a barrel. Just really start to feel this warming up through your shoulders. And now it's a bit bigger. It's the size of a tractor wheel. And we're going to reverse, so tractor wheel backwards. And then barrel backwards. Keep thinking belly button to spine, keep that core engaged. Then plate backwards. And then cereal bowl. And then mug. And then Jaffa cake. And then let your arms hang. Just give those shoulders a little wiggle. And then from here we're going to bring one arm up in front. Imagine you're stuck behind a big counter, only your arm can move, and you're going to reach forward to something that's just out of reach, so stretching through that shoulder. Pick up that object and then you're going to pull it back behind you. Now as you do this, your hips stay facing forward, so don't turn to the side, keep your hips forward and just move through your shoulder for me. Thinking belly button to spine, keep that core engaged. Pelvic floor on and strong. And final 3. Final 2. And final 1. And then bring that arm down by your side. Excellent. Bring that other arm up. Thinking collarbone leads you forward. And then shoulder blade stretches you back behind. Thinking belly button to spine. Keep that core engaged. Pelvic floor on and strong. Really stretching forward. Keep those hips facing forward. So you're just moving through your shoulder girdle. You can look to where your hand is going if you want to. Final 2. And final 1. Then bring that arm down by your side, and from here we're going to interlace those fingers and bring your hands above your head, and we're just going to mobilize through those shoulders a little bit more, so just wake them up. And then taking it in the other direction. Keep thinking belly button to spine, keep that pelvic floor engaged, core is on. And then we're going to let our spine and core get involved, so back and core are getting involved, and we're creating a bigger circle. Everything from your hips down is still staying still, but your upper body is creating a lovely circle, mobilizing through those muscles, just warming them up, and taking it in the other direction. Think soft knees, keep that core engaged. And then bringing those arms down by your sides. We're going to reach to the right, stretch the arm up and over, squeeze those obliques, come back to the top, and the other way down, up and over, squeeze those obliques, come back to the top. So I want you to imagine you're moving in between 2 panes of glass. So that arm has to come down, up and over your head, and can't come in front of your face. Pelvic floor stays engaged, core is on. Just warming up through those obliques. Final 1 to each side like this. Okay, then coming back to the middle, and this time we're going to go down, up and over, hold it there, bring that other arm up, come back to the middle, and then let it go. So we're going down, up and over, other arm comes up, back to the middle, and let it go. One more time to each side. And final 1. And letting it go. Okay. From here we're going on to our bottom half. So legs are coming out so they're wider than hip distance apart. And then from here, keeping your pelvis upright, so making sure you don't bring your chest forward. We're just going to bend into one side and then back to the middle. Bend into the other side, back to the middle. Make sure your knee stays behind your toes. If it's not, you can bring yourself out a little bit wider. Keep thinking belly button to spine, keep that core engaged, pelvic floor on and strong. Just warming up through those knees. And then we're going to add in a little heel lift. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go down into the middle. Probably need to walk those feet back in a little bit. And then we're going to lift, lower, up. So we're going to go down, lift those heels, down, up. So down, heel lift, down, up, down, heel lift, down, up. 3 more, down, heel lift, down, up, down, heel lift, down, up. Core engaged. Final 2. And final 1. Then walking your feet back into the middle, bringing them so they're back underneath you, and we're going to do a deeper squat this time. So core stays engaged. You're going to bring your arms up into the air. Imagine you've got hold of some really heavy ropes and you're trying to pull them down. So we're going to pull those heavy ropes down as you take your bum backwards, bring your chest forward and come into your squat position. Keep that core engaged. Then from here we're going to imagine we're a jack in the box and we're going to jump out of that box. Arms come around in a lovely big circle. Pick up those ropes again. Core engaged. Pelvic floor on. Bum backwards. Chest forwards. Down into that box. Hold it here. Remember your knees stay behind your toes. Holding it here and then push yourself back to the top. Keep thinking belly button to spine. Keep that core engaged. Pelvic floor on and strong. Use those legs and glute muscles. Down into that box and push. And final two. And final one. Okay, so from here we're now going to interlace our fingers above our head and try and pull them apart. So just stretching out through those back muscles, holding it there. And then we're just going to lean to the left, stretch out through that side. Come back to the middle, lean to the right, stretch out through that side. Come back to the middle. And then you're just going to lean backwards, push your hips forward, stretch out through those hips, hold it there. And then you're going to come back to the middle and you're going to stretch all the way forward. So you're trying to make your back nice and long. Think about your hands being pulled away from your body. Feel that stretch through your legs as well. Hold it. And then come back up and let go. Okay, from here we're going to do our little frog squat. So feet might need to be a little bit further apart. Core engaged. We're going to come down into our normal squat position. And then from here you're going to take it as low as you can. And then we're going to do 5 little bounces here. 3, 2, 1. Then again, like with the other squat, pushing yourself back to the top through your whole foot. But I want you to imagine that you're pushing yourself through treacle. So it's hard work to get back to the top. You're really having to force yourself up. So it isn't a spring like the last one. It's more of a kind of like to the top, okay? So core engaged, down to your normal position and then take it a little bit lower and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push yourself back to the top. Down we go again to normal, then lower. Core engaged, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push yourself back to the top. 2 more. Core engaged to normal and then lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push yourself back to the top. Final time. Down and lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push yourself back to the top. Give those legs a little shake. Well done. From here we're going to look at balance. So if you have a block and you wish to use it, you're very welcome. If not, you can just stay on the floor, that's fine. So left foot is coming onto the block. Core engaged, right leg is coming out in front of you. Then from here we're just going to create a semicircle. No, we're not, we're creating a whole circle. I don't know why I always call this, I think it's because the other one we do, where we take the leg around, is a semicircle. And so I always say semicircle because it's kind of my go-to. And then taking it in the other direction. Okay, then you're going to hold that leg there, just completely lost my balance. Core engaged, growing towards the ceiling. Leg stays there, you're going to bring your arms out in front. And then we're just going to rotate through that mid-spine. Back to the middle, and rotate to the other side. Back to the middle. So only rotate as far as you can keep that leg, or as you can keep your balance. So don't try and overdo it. Core engaged, think nice and tall. Keep your chin in line with your chest. Think about that rotation coming through your mid-spine. So try and keep your hips facing forward. Final one to each side, doing really well. Final one. Then holding it here if you can. You're going to bring that leg out so it's straight out in front of you. You're going to bring your arms out to the sides, up to the top, and back to the middle. Final time, out to the sides, back to the top, and round to the middle. Then stepping off in front of your block, giving those ankles a little walk out. Well done. If you were on a block, flipping it over so you're on the other side. Foot on the block now is your right foot. Left leg is coming up, core engaged. Just make sure those hips are level. And then we're starting just with a nice mobility exercise for that hip. Keep thinking belly button to spine, keep that core engaged, pelvic floor still on. And then taking it in the other direction. Two. Final one, holding it there. Core engaged, growing towards the ceiling, arms come out, and then we've got that rotation. Keep thinking belly button to spine, keep that core on. Slow, controlled rotation. Hold your balance. Final one to each side. We're nearly there. And then back to the middle. And then we're going to bring that leg out in front. Arms come out to the side, to the top, and to the middle. Out to the side, to the top, and to the middle. Stepping off the front. Little walk out for those ankles.